Cloudcast Media.
Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. So pleased to have in the studio with us today folks that are going to talk about San Diego Pride 5K, joined by my longtime friend and colleague, Courtney Pendleton, PR and community manager, PR expert, maven, and everything in between from Mission Fed Credit Union.
Stop.
How you doing, Courtney?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing just fine over here. And your colleague, Andy Kleinke, he is the San Diego Pride 5K race director from Front Runners and Walkers. Did I get your title correct?
Yeah, that is correct.
Very, very good over here. How you doing, Andy?
I'm doing well, thank you, and thanks for having me in today.
Oh, can't wait to talk about this iconic event, and it really is. We'll start with you, Courtney, and then we'll hand it over to Andy. Near and dear to Mission Fed, like so many things are.
Absolutely. You know, we're all about community, and this particular event is something we've been part of for 4 or 5 years now.
This will be the fifth year.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing event. I mean, Andy, I'll be his PR person for a second because what he's not telling you is that he does this, and all the front runners and walkers team who put this on are all a team of volunteers who do this, and they do an incredible job with this event. And it's grown every year. And again, Mission Fed, you know, Drew knows us well. We love doing all things in the community.
We do.
And especially, you know, this time of year, I mean, all times we are celebrating Pride, but particularly during the month of June being Pride Month. But we're really excited in San Diego that our Pride celebrations kind of extend into July. And July 20th will be the Pride 5K.
Right, exactly. And how many years you been doing this now?
Well, I've been involved in the 5K since 2014, so I guess 10 years now, and the race director since 2020.
2020, okay. And how many people participate in this?
Yeah, we're super fortunate. We've seen a pretty significant growth.
Right.
So this year, we're actually having to cap our registration at 2,400 participants, and we're expecting to sell out probably about a week in advance of the event, which is going to be kind of another record for us. So.
Right. And where's the event run?
Yeah, we follow the parade route. This is the San Diego Pride Parade, which happens in Hillcrest. So we start near the LGBT Center, which is right in the heart of Hillcrest, just near the Pride flag, and we run into Balboa Park along the parade route.
Right, exactly. So 2,400. Is there any competitive racers in there, or is it folks that they're just going for a stroll, a little bit of both?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I think is super wonderful about this event is that we are open and accessible to everybody. So we have very competitive, sub-elite runners that run, and we do have age group awards for those people, as well as overall awards in 3 different gender categories. So we're try to be as inclusive to people and their gender identity as possible. And if you want to come out and push your toddler in a stroller, you're welcome to do that as well. So, and then walk and it's just everybody is welcome no matter what your athletic ability is. We got a place for you. That's
great. And is there a fee to participate?
Yeah, we do have a registration fee.
Yeah.
It's just under $50, $49.
Inexpensive. Yeah, it's just a few Starbucks, I guess, right?
Yeah. These days.
Yeah, right, these days. And it benefits what group?
Yeah, so we have 2 really important and wonderful charity partners that this event sponsors or benefits, and that's they're both youth focused. So the San Diego LGBT Center has a youth housing program called the Sunbirth Youth Housing Project, and that provides rooms and sort of transitional housing to youth members that maybe have lost their housing due to their family situation.
Right.
And then also the San Diego Pride Community Grants program, focusing on youth programs in our community. So that distributes funds to different organizations that are working within our community with the LGBT youth.
Yeah, I think that's great. Is that a growing part of the organization? Is the youth part of it, or all of it is growing?
Well, I mean, the event is definitely growing.
Of course,
it's always been focused on the youth aspect.
Interesting. Okay.
Because we view that community. LGBT youth are high risk for suicide, depression, and lots of other ailments. So it's anything that we can do to support that
100%
aspect of our community is really important to our organization.
Yeah, we really can't shout that out enough. We're chatting with Andy Kleinke. He's the San Diego Pride 5K race director, part of the front runners and walkers, joined by his colleague, Courtney Pendleton, PR and community manager for Mission Fed Credit Union, Mission Fed being a big sponsor of the event as well. And you've raised some pretty significant money from this event, have you not?
Yeah, we've seen a real significant growth over the past 5 years since the pandemic, in large part due to some of the amazing support that we get from organizations. Mission Fed in particular has really stepped in to help us. And this year we're anticipating raising over $50,000. Target is around $55,000.
Oh, that's great.
To return to our community. But in the past 7 years, we've raised over $300,000.
Right. So if someone can't make the event, they got something else going on July 20th, whatever the case may be, like me, I'll be out of town. But they can just go to a website and contribute. I want to support the event. I just can't be there. How do they do it?
So our club website, frwsd.org, frwsd.org, is where you can find out more information about our club as well as the Pride 5K in particular. And there you can either sign up to be a virtual participant, so you can run or walk the event wherever you are that day or even that weekend, or you can just make a direct donation to the event through one of our donation links, and that money will go straight to our charity partners.
Right. I'm sure the answer to this is no, Drew. I can't run the event because I'm busy actually running it. Coordinating it and all that business. But talk a little bit about front runners for those listeners that I've never heard of this group before. There's 100 of them around the world.
Yeah. So the front runners and walkers are organizations, LGBTQ focused running and walking clubs around the world.
Nice.
San Diego was actually one of the first 3 to form in 1981. And we meet regularly 4 times a week in Balboa Park or around San Diego. And we have over 250 members currently and growing every day, and we're just accessible to everyone. Yeah.
So when you meet, are you always meeting to walk or run? Is there always an activity with it, or you just meet and go, we're not going to run today, we're just going to chat?
No, well, we do have plenty of social activities. In fact, we've been accused of being a breakfast club that goes for a run beforehand.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that.
But we try to get together and provide community for our members as much as possible. So we have at least one social event every month.
Nice.
And we also will meet up with other LGBTQ organizations for happy hours or community service events.
Right, that are not necessarily tied to front runners, correct?
Exactly.
Right. Now, is there a front runners group in LA and San Francisco and Timbuktu and all over?
Yeah, they're all over. We've actually, we are quite closely linked with the LA front runner group.
Will they come down for the event?
They will, yeah.
Okay.
And we'll go up for theirs every year. As Long Beach has one as well. New York is probably the largest one in the world. They're all over the nation.
Right. So for those folks that are, have never done it before, hey, this sounds like fun. I want to do this. I want to support the organization. I want to support the youth in that aspect of it. What advice do you have for them? It's July 20th. When does the race kick off?
Yeah, the race starts at 8 a.m. on July 20th.
So don't get there at 7:59.
We recommend showing up before 7:30. Parking is very challenging,
That's
although we do have a shuttle service.
Right.
But it's still going to take some time. So plan early. It's a low stress event. So you can start from couch to 5K. I'm sure you could do it now. We still got about 4 weeks to go. So plenty of time to get ready for it. And then my other advice is stay for the day.
Yeah.
I
was going to say,
we have the parade starting just after we finish. It's a fantastic event with, almost 500,000 people that turn out to the streets. So definitely come and enjoy all the festivities.
What time does the parade start?
The parade starts at 10 a.m.
10 a.m. Okay, so you guys kick off at 8. It's 5K, so that's 3 miles, right? Depending if elite races will be done in about 3 seconds. Okay, right? The Union Tribune, and Courtney knows this. We used to do a Union Tribune Dr. Seuss Race for Literacy every year, raising money for the Council on Literacy, and we would actually run down 163. But it was an 8K. We wanted to be different. Who does an 8K? Well, we're the only ones that did an 8K, so we had to do that. But anyway, I think that's terrific. So people who are participating in the 5K, will they end up where the parade starts, or they have to backtrack and then?
Yeah, so we actually finish one block from where the race, or from where the parade actually starts.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah, and the other great thing about running along the parade route is people are already out setting themselves up for watching the parade. So you get all of these people cheering you on,
right?
Telling you to run faster,
right?
Celebrating. People wear costumes and pride flags and just get dressed up. It's real fun.
No, and the parade is one of the biggest ones, if not the biggest in the country. It's huge, and it continues to grow and so forth. And I think what's good about, maybe you can talk about the parade a little bit too, is that it is really cherished by so many different organizations.
Yeah. Yeah, so I do want to caveat to say that I'm not a spokesperson for San Diego Pride. They're a fantastic organization.
But you're familiar with it, so that's okay.
We work very, very closely with them. They're great supporters of our event. And,
right.
And one of the things that they really inspire us to do is be as inclusive as possible.
Right.
The San Diego Pride Parade has contingents from every type of organization across our area in San Diego County, and that type of inclusiveness and openness is something that we strive for. I mean, I've had conversations with them about like, wow, your guys' parade is really long. And they're like, you tell me how to tell somebody that they can't be in our parade, because they just want to make sure that event is accessible to everybody. And I think that's
Courtney.
Really an inspiration.
It's so true. And just I'll even add and piggyback onto what Andy is talking about Mission Fed is also a sponsor of San Diego Pride and the parade, and we'll also be at the festival as well. So we, the last couple of years, have, with our foundation of, working with Andy and team and the front runners and walkers team on the Pride 5K, we've expanded our support to double down and, go directly to San Diego Pride and have our own contingent in the parade as well. Shout out to Serafina over at San Diego Pride, who, works so closely and well with us sponsors, right, for this too. And we feel extra, special, if you will, just being able to support San Diego Pride directly through our donation. But we also, help the Pride 5K raise those funds that also in part go to the San Diego Pride and the youth initiative that Andy already discussed.
No, I think that's great. We come back from break. Courtney and Andy want to talk about something that you guys really did well. Like a lot of people had to do it with the COVID. You had to pivot, right? The word of the, early in the decade, and you guys did virtual races and all that. Want to talk a little bit about maybe some of the challenges that the organizations, face that you support. How do we overcome those challenges? And then what can our listeners do to support your efforts? Obviously, go to participate in the 5K, of course. But if there are other things you can think of as well, we'll certainly want to pass that along to our listeners. When we return with Andy Kleinke, he is the San Diego Pride 5K race director for the front runners and walkers, joined by Courtney Pendleton, PR and community manager for Mission Fed Credit Union. I'm Drew Schlosberg. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show. We are the nation's longest running community podcast. We're now in our 18th year. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union for more than 6 decades, just continuing to do very cool things for us folk living in San Diego County. We will be right back.
When you do your banking with Mission Fed, you get great rates on auto and home loans. That's good for you. But something good also happens for a lot of other people. We're not for profit, so we put money back into the community to help lots of great nonprofits to keep San Diego strong. So you're not just getting something good, you're doing something good. Come to Mission Fed. It's banking that's good for all.
Brand amplification is the DNA of Cloudcast Media, and our code is the powerful blending of sound, voice, and storytelling to lift local brands and their communities. Whether it is our Brandcast, Schoolcast, or Causecast platforms, the unifying ethos is all about this community, the one you call home. If you dare to dream and want to explore the brand amplification of Cloudcast, a national leader in local podcasting and other Winfluence strategies, please visit us at cloudcast.us.
I'm Drew Schlosberg of Cloudcast Media. You're listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, broadcasting from this very cool Mission Fed studio here in Scripps Ranch. Joined by Andy Kleinke, San Diego Pride 5K race director, one of the front runners and walkers, and Courtney Pendleton, PR and community manager for Mission Fed Credit Union. You know, we were talking right before break, Andy, you guys have been doing this for a while, but there was a little thing called COVID that sort of got in the way, but didn't stop you, did it?
No, it did not. And one of the reasons why it didn't actually was because of the corporate support that we received. And it actually really changed the way that our organization approaches our event. We've seen a dramatic increase in the corporate engagement portion of our fundraising. And a lot of that has been due to assistance and mentorship, I would even say, from people like Courtney at Mission Fed and just working closely with them and helping to inspire us to be a little bit more, I guess, aggressive might be the word. I'm not so sure.
That is the right word.
With that aspect of our event. And the other thing that I think is great, and I like to tell my team when we're talking about taking risks and taking chances, I say the worst possible thing imaginable for our event happened, and we made it through, right? A global pandemic, forced us to cancel, our in-person event, and we still somehow managed to grow the impact that we were having on our charity partners. So, yeah.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about it, you hear this all the time, from when the pandemic hit, and then it had some impact of the listeners that we'd have on our Spotlight show, which we've been doing since 2007. But after a while, I said, listen, of course you need to come on the show during the pandemic to say that you guys aren't done. You're still operating. I mean, this is the most important time for you to come on because the people think you've gone because of the pandemic. And then afterwards you go, man, we learned so much from that pandemic. This is stuff we're doing now because of the pandemic. It forced us to do fill in the blank, maybe more social media or more virtual things. It wasn't perfect for everybody, but the amazing things that you hear from people over and over, no, we use this strategy and we're going to use this moving forward. Do you find the same thing?
Absolutely. Yeah. So we still offer a virtual element.
Yeah.
It's definitely, if I'm being honest, it's decreased in popularity over time, but that's
people
okay.
wanted to come back in person, right?
Exactly. And speaking about this is reminding me actually on the day of our event in 2020, I went into Hillcrest to run the course because a group of us had decided to meet up, and we saw dozens of members of the community had printed out their little bibs on their own and come out and put on their t-shirts that they had received in the mail and ran it. And that really showed me that, our community wants to come together. They want to celebrate and be around one another and feel that connection. And that's a really important element of our event and other events like it.
Yeah, without question. Talk about some of the challenges, that the LGBT community, faces, and how you're making some inroads in those, and what can we do to help support you?
Yeah. Well, thank you for that question. And I think one only really has to turn on the news, unfortunately, to kind of see some of the rhetoric around the LGBT community.
Complete nonsense, if I may say so myself. Thank you.
And I think our organization provides a place for people to show up and to find support and community. I mean, there are countless examples within our organization where I could point to where we try to become the family that many of us maybe were shunned from or have challenges with. For example, just an anecdote, in the 80s, not long after the San Diego Frontrunners and Walkers was formed, obviously the AIDS epidemic happened. And this organization, the legacy of this organization is that they created schedules to help other members through medical treatments or doing things like laundry or bringing food to them, as part of the support. And so I think that just shows the way that the LGBT community in different ways or different organizations come together to help one another through times of challenge. And I could point to recent examples where we've seen that in our club as well. But more specifically to ways that people can help, I think, showing up is big, right? Just being present and standing with our community. There are aspects that we may not always understand that people are going through, but we can still, put our hand on their shoulder and say, I'm with you, whatever you need. And then, money, I guess, also helps because we don't have all the answers, right? The Frontrunners and Walkers provides a space for people to come together, but we're not a direct advocacy or service providing organization. Right. Whereas, our charity partners, the LGBT Center and San Diego Pride Community Grants are. They are taking that money and they're putting it directly into services and activities for the youth. So as much as people can support, volunteer, or give their time or money to those organizations, I think that goes a long way.
Yeah. Are we going to say something, Courtney?
I definitely wanted just to chime in, both, I think, professionally and personally on just the question of the broader, just the challenges in the LGBTQ, plus community. And I'm fortunate that I've worked for so many amazing organizations, including Mission Fed, who are committed to diversity and to inclusion and to acceptance. And I have so many amazing colleagues here at Mission Fed. We have an amazing Pride employee resource group, a Pride ERG, that is, works with us closely in community relations on all of our Pride 5K, Pride, San Diego Pride Parade, Festival, all the things. And I'm so happy that we're able to commit those important dollars, but also the time, talent, treasures, sort of thing, to this particular community and this cause and, just people. Personally, I mean, I do it for my own sister who came out, I guess back in 2008 or so it was. And just the, challenges that she's faced. She's super strong and I, love her. And she, was super accepted by our family, thank goodness, and everything too. I also have a niece, that we also embrace and everything with the challenges that they face. I think even professionally as a communications professional who has managed, PR and whatnot for a lot of different organizations here locally and, broader nationally, globally. We also receive interesting mail, right? When an organization, a corporation, and business supports Pride, and it's not always pleasant, and that just hurts my heart to read those emails, those things, and how we've been able to respond to those as an organization. I'm so proud of, because it's just reinforcing, hey, this is about accepting people, meeting people where they're at, and, celebrating our differences and our inclusion and just all the different things. I'm just really proud that I can kind of tie all of that together, both professionally and personally, to help support the Pride.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that heartfelt feelings in this area. You know me for a long time, and this is why we do this show. Been doing it for 18 years. I only have this word about, I'm intolerant of intolerance. And, the bottom line is, whether it's LGBT or it's people on the spectrum or it's, ethnicities, I don't care. The bottom line is, got to be strong. You got to be able to express your opinion. Yes, you'll get some arrows, and so be it. That's okay. People have opinions and all that, in that area. And but do not tolerate intolerance is the story that I'm sticking to, and I have I've been honored to have this show for a long time, to do that, and so forth. And we'll continue to do that because when you support groups like LGBT and their challenges, you're also supporting other groups those on the spectrum and their challenges, and people that are dealing with whatever the case may be and their challenges. You're all in this together, folks, and so that's an obvious statement, but, it's something that we're very proud of at the Spotlight Show, and I know at Cloudcast Media on this. Chatting again with Andy Kleinke, he is the San Diego Pride 5K race director, part of Front Runners and Walkers, and joined by Courtney Pendleton, PR and community manager for Mission Fed. The event is on the 20th of July, correct?
That is correct. 20th July, 8 a.m., Hillcrest in downtown San Diego.
Right, and enjoy the parade that'll take part right after the 5K. Sign up now because they were limiting it to 2,400. You said
2,400 is we're every year we kind of inch it up a little bit more. The more people, the more logistical challenges we're trying to overcome. But this year, 2,400, we're certain we're going to sell out.
Right, and what's the website that people can sign up?
People can go to frwsd.org.
Okay, that sounds great.
And come out early. It is so much fun. It's an amazing event. We didn't even talk about the Kids Dash and all these other things that are so fun and just family-friendly event. It's an amazing event. They do an amazing job.
Right, all on the website, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, exactly. Courtney, any final comments?
No, we thank you, Andy, and his amazing team of, again, volunteers. They all have separate corporate jobs and lives, and they really pour their heart and soul into this event, and we're so proud to be a small part of it with you guys.
That's great. Andy, any final comments yourself?
Well, I just want to, a heartfelt thank you to you for having us on the show. And to Mission Fed for their support and our other sponsors. And it's just a big invitation, come out and join us. We're open for everybody. Like we said, we have everything from the kids to the fast runners and everything in between. Wear your favorite tutu and bring your pride
all
flag.
All the rainbows.
I think it's going to be great. Well, wishing you, Andy, and nothing but phenomenal success at the 5K, and of course to our friends at the Pride for their big parade afterwards. Courtney, always great to have you joining as well. You've been listening to another edition of Drew Schlosberg Spotlight on the Community Show, the nation's longest-running community podcast for now in our 18th year, brought to you by the very cool folks at Mission Fed Credit Union. 6 decades of doing great things for people living in San Diego County. We hope you enjoyed the show.
You've been listening to an episode of Drew Schlosberg's Spotlight on the Community Show, amplifying the voices of social impact organizations, entrepreneurs, local nonprofits, and other community champions who shape the culture, creativity, and connectivity of San Diego community. Brought to you by Mission Fed Credit Union, bringing good things to San Diego for over 60 years. Learn more about what is good for you and good for all by visiting www.missionfed.com.
Cloudcast Media.